What is a realistic revenue figure that you can expect to make in your first year of coaching? What is the realistic revenue number? What can I realistically hope to make when I launch my coaching business? You're in luck because we're gonna get into it right now. Hey, CourtneyLSanders here. Welcome back to my channel. If you're new to me, I'm a full-time certified 7-figure life and business coach, as well as wife and mom. I wear all the hats and do all the things. And I know one of the biggest questions that aspiring and even somewhat established coaches have is, what is a realistic revenue figure that you can expect to make in your first year of coaching? So obviously new coaches are wondering this because they're like, how much money can I stand to make when I'm first getting started? And established coaches are wondering, if what they're doing is good, is it not so good? Are they making as much money as they could be making in their business? Or is there a gap somewhere and they feel like they are falling short? And so if you've ever wondered, maybe you've heard a lot of claims, a lot of people talking about they made this or they made that, and then others saying that they haven't made so much. What is the realistic revenue number? What can I realistically hope to make when I launch my coaching business? You're in luck because we're gonna get into it right now. All right, this is always such a tough question to answer because the answer is probably the answer that you've heard but you hate, which is, it depends, right? There is no one answer for any particular person because it depends on a variety of factors. It depends on what you are coaching on, right? What is your niche? What are your coaching packages? What is your price point? What kind of marketing and branding that you have? But I will say that it is possible, if you're wondering, to make 6 figures in your first year. And I can raise my hand and say that because that's what I did. I actually made 6 figures in my first year of coaching while I was working my full-time job. I've had other clients who do that and then much more. I have a lot of clients who have made 6 figures their first year of coaching, even some clients who, because they have received my coaching and the coaching of others who helped accelerate their success, were able to even do multi-6 figures in their business. But I'm not gonna lie, there are other people that I have seen who barely, scratched 10K in their first year, and they're coming to me scratching their head wondering, what is it that I'm doing wrong? Why is it that others seem to be making 6 figures their first year of coaching and I'm struggling to do that? And so I really wanted to do this video, one, to set expectations. Is it realistic for you to make 6 figures? Yes, but only if you have a few things in place. And so hopefully this video will really illuminate to you, if you do desire to hit that 6-figure mark in your coaching business, particularly in your first year, make sure you work really hard to have these particular components in place because without them, it's very difficult to hit that number. Okay, so when it comes to your first year revenue, the first thing that is going to be dependent on is whether or not you have a lucrative niche. You've heard me talk about this. Like, if you've watched even 3 of my videos on this YouTube channel, I talk about this extensively. I'm always harping about the niche because this is really foundational, and a lot of people get into niches that are not lucrative and then they really stress out and wonder why they're having such difficulty hitting the revenue goals that ultimately they want. Now hear me on this, because a really big misnomer that a lot of people have is you can only make a lot of money or your niche is only lucrative if you are helping people in the arena of business, sales, helping people make money, finance, etc. That is not true. However, the reason why business coaches and finance coaches, etc., often do well is not necessarily because they're helping people around finances or helping people make money, but it is because they are helping people achieve a clear, desirable outcome. So there's a lot of things that go into a lucrative niche, but this is one of the foundational things that you must have. If you don't have this, I can tell you right now, your niche is not lucrative. You must be helping people achieve a clear outcome that is strongly desired by the target market that you are working with. And so I see a lot of coaches, especially life coaches, get this wrong because they are very broad in what the outcome is. They're just like, oh, I'm gonna help you, be successful in your life. I'm gonna help you achieve goals. I'm gonna help you with your mindset. I'm gonna help you master your emotions. Those are very, very broad. You wanna take that skill set, that expertise that you are offering, and you wanna narrow it down into something very specific. What is the outcome that the person is ultimately going to walk away with? And like I said, this doesn't necessarily need to be something around finances or business or making money, even though you'll find that business coaches and finance coaches do well because making money is a clear, desirable outcome. So that's the rub. It's not, oh, I can only make money as a coach if I help other people make money. No, you can only make money as a coach if you help people achieve a clear, desirable outcome, of which helping people make money is just one of those outcomes. And so I actually had a client who came to me who had a very vague niche at first. It was something related to helping moms postpartum, but it wasn't clear. It was around helping them with their emotions and all of that. And once we started to excavate her story and her expertise and go through the entire process that I do when I'm helping a client identify her niche, we actually found that she had more value in a completely different direction. In fact, she had more value in her expertise around helping women get married quickly after years of dead-end dating. And she specifically showed women how to really amp up their femininity in order to attract the mate, or shall I say, fiance of their dreams. And so this process is actually something that I do directly with my clients who work with me in my signature coaching program, the Next Big Name Coach. This is a certification program where we will not only certify you as a coach, as an accredited coach through our accredited coaching program. Yes, our certification program is actually accredited, but we also show you how to come up with your own coaching methodology, and we work together to essentially choose your niche for you. So we will work together to identify what your story is, what it is that you are bringing to the table, and we come up with a niche for you, and we really help you map out what your coaching program is and even help you put a price point on that. So if that is something that you're interested in, you can click the link below in order to learn more about it, and you can apply, and if accepted, you'll be invited to an enrollment call with my team. But we do that because it's so important, and a lot of people really struggle with this. Again, the niche doesn't have to be something around helping people make money, but it needs to be something clear, and it needs to be something desirable. And again, I've had clients do this in the arenas of relationships, of health and wellness, of time management, in a variety of different arenas, so it doesn't have to be related to business. All right, the next thing that's going to determine your first year revenue as a coach is if you've taken the time to build a community. I'm always baffled by how many new coaches are crying because, oh, I can't find any clients and things are so difficult, but they don't have a community. Here's the thing, your first few clients, in fact, your first dozen clients are most likely going to come from your community. So if you haven't spent the time building a community, it's no wonder that you don't have a pipeline of clients who want to work with you, because your first few clients are going to come from your community. I mean, when you think about this, this makes sense. When you're first getting started, you don't necessarily have the visibility, you don't have the reach, you might not have a large audience. So there aren't people who, are not in your community who are just stumbling across your content and finding out about you and signing up. And so it's very important that you cultivate first a conversation, not around your coaching, but around your general subject matter and the angle that you approach it with. This is what I did before I even launched my business, and I really did this on accident. I was blogging at first, I was blogging about personal development for millennials, and so it made sense that when I finally launched my signature coaching program at the time, which was my No Excuses Woman 21-Day Self-Discipline program, which is all around achieving self-discipline, I had a community or a pool of people who were interested in working with me that made it very easy for them to become clients, because again, I was cultivating a conversation around the subject matter. And then when I launched the coaching, it was an easy fit for them to want to sign up for me. So if you have been struggling with developing a pipeline of clients for a while, I would actually take a break from focusing on clients, and I would focus on building a community, because that is where the people who are typically able to generate six figures in their first year are ultimately sourcing their clients from. All right, I have more where that came from, but first I want to hear from you. How much are you looking to generate in your first year of coaching? Share in the comments below. All right, the next thing that your first year revenue is going to depend on heavily is your price point. Yes, what is the price point of your coaching packages? I find that people who really struggle to generate any substantial revenue in their first year of business do so because they're primarily selling one-on-one coaching sessions via, $150 a session, $200 a session. I mean, when you think about it, if you just do the math based on the amount of sessions that you would have to do in order to achieve six figures, it's very difficult, especially if you are working a full-time job. And so in my experience, the clients that I have worked with who were successfully able to generate six figures their first year in coaching, typically were able to come up with coaching packages that at a minimum, they were pricing at $2,500. And I say $2,500 at a minimum because when you think about it, if you can sell 4 in a month, then you've made 10K. And if you do 10K a month over 12 months, that's over $100,000 USD per year. So I like to start people at a minimum of $2,500, but again, depending on the niche, depending on on the community that you've built, depending on the expertise and the outcome that you are ultimately helping your clients achieve. I've had clients who've been able to charge $5,000 for coaching packages, $7,500 for coaching packages, $20,000 for coaching packages. Yes, I've had clients who've been able to do that. And so when you do the math, you see very quickly how it doesn't take very many clients every single month in order to generate the revenue necessary to achieve 6 figures a year. All right, thanks so much for watching this video. I hope that that was helpful for you in thinking about how much revenue you can generate in your first year of coaching, but you're not gonna be able to generate any revenue if you haven't launched your business. So if you are serious about transitioning from whatever career you're in to a coaching career, I highly, highly recommend that you join my signature coaching program, The Next Big Name Coach. This program will not only show you how to coach by giving you an accredited coaching certification, but we will show you how to come up with your own coaching methodology. We work together to come up with your niche and your coaching packages. And then from there, we work together to help you launch your coaching business. We have website templates and a variety of different things to help you get your coaching business off the ground so that you can start attracting clients right away. So if that is of interest to you, again, go ahead and click the link in the description box in order to learn more where you can apply. And I hope that you will apply so that we can review your application. And if accepted, you can have a call with my team who will walk you through the entire process. All right, thanks so much for watching this video. If you loved it, don't forget to give it a thumbs up and subscribe. And if you can't wait for my next YouTube video, make sure you are subscribed to my podcast, The Courtney Sanders Show, on both iTunes and Spotify. And if you can't wait for my next podcast episode or my next YouTube video, make sure you are following me on both TikTok and Instagram. It's CourtneyLSanders on both. And with that, I'll see you in the next video. Bye.